Hi everyone, it's the third month of the year. It's March 2, 2022, and you're watching the Philippine Market Update from Awesome 10X. Let's begin. Okay, so let's take a look at the index here. So we're getting 7,300 in your index, down 1%, but we are seeing obviously a strong run up from your Nickel Asia, from all of your miners. Let's take a look at them. You're seeing some upticks a while ago that have resulted to some reversals on the downside. SPNEC was earlier as high as 2.2. Let's take a look at that. Some solar movements actually in the Philippines. Let's take a look at that. For the year, it's actually gone as high as 2.24. The highest of the peak was 234. It consolidated to about 1.9, 1.7, and then made a gap up here. But I surmise that we have to read why SPNEC is gapping up 15% in the first place. Is there a new uh, acquisition or something that's forcing this gap up move for Solar Philippines? This is a gap up, as you could see, a 15% move. Let's take a look at further movements in the market. We are seeing all the Nickel Asias also rally hard and then get some correction as well. Take note that as of the year, this has rallied from $5, 5 peso to 8 pesos for your Nickel Asia. You're also seeing FNI hit the same. This is for just the year, from about less than 1.16 for FNI. Wait up, let's see. Wait up. Actually, FNI started about to from going from 2 to as high as 2.75 and then reversing to 2.6. You're seeing some selling pressure here on FNI and Nickel Asia. You're seeing Mark as actually also the same. Also, this is what you call a reversal move, a dynamite move from about 208. It's now falling to 1.92. We are seeing some downticks. That means that there are more sellers rather than buyers. Usually at the peak, you're seeing these things. So we are actually seeing a sell side signal on MARC FNI and nickel. Let's take a look at DMC and Semirara as well. DMC so far is trading at 9 peso, but it's actually possible that we are also nearing the peaks here rather than look at these. The highest was 9.4042 on October, and you've got resistances somewhere here about 11 and the 10. So as it goes up, we are of the opinion that there will be resistances on the way up. Okay, so DMC is nearing some resistances here. You're looking at Semirara as well. So we know that the commodity run-up has actually resulted to the strength of these mining power names. Semirara here is about, you've got the resistance about 31 to 33. So it's doing 30 pesos today. Take a look as well on these resistances for your selling areas. So these are not all-time high moves. These are actually resistance heavy names. So look at it. Nicolasia actually is getting some corrective movement here. A lot of your miners are getting some corrective movements. Let's take a look at ASEN. What's happening here? After a correction from about 13, ASEN still hasn't found footing. It's possible that ASEN wants to retest 6.76. Take note that it has rallied quite significantly and it is still on the way down. What about gold? Gold has been shooting up to about $1950. You could see that gold worldwide has become a safe haven asset, just as Bitcoin. Some people are trying to take profits here at about 1980, 1950, 1934. Yes, it could rally as high as $2,000 as well, but we can see that the supports are here at about $1800 for gold, and maybe it goes higher further here, but you have to be on the lookout for that resistance to be taken out first. So for Philex Mining, we're seeing these resistances still there, 7 peso. 7 peso and 750. Let's take a look at copper. So we've been bullish on commodities last year. However, nearing resistances, we want to advise that you have to be more cautious and more on the lookout on the sell side rather than looking to buy. Either you're late already, so it's actually more on the other side of the fence. Atlas, this is already at about 8 peso 85 high. So as it goes up to 8, it's probably a sell signal. Last night, you're looking at oil shooting up to as high as $105. Crude oil, of course, is has been spiking up. As a result of this Russian-Ukrainian war, these geopolitical events are forcing these events to happen. And wait up though, crude oil is actually nearing these highs of about 106, 108. As it goes parabolic, we think and we would advise that people have to be very careful, as these parabolic moves can also result to the peaks or the highest moves and then trail to the downside. So more or less, you are seeing that commodity bull moves are actually transpiring in the market, but be careful on them. So it's actually more of a area for you to be selling rather than for you to be buying. So let's take a look at some of the index names as well. Market value is about 4.8 billion. You've got 120 decliners, 63 advancers. Some nickels are actually getting some resistances. Let's take a look at nickel. Nickel as a resource worldwide. Nickel futures. Let's take a look at nickel spots as well. So nickel continues to go up here at about 25,000 already. That is the nickel spot. But as we can see, some people also either trail stop on the rising prices, as it has been rallying since 2020, right? So we have to be more on the lookout for potential risks, as it's very high already. What else? Okay, let's take a look. So index is getting some drops. Your index corrected from 7.4 to 7.3, down 90 points. All shares are falling 1%. Financials are dropping by 1%. Industrials are going down 1%. Holding firms, property firms, service industries, mining is the only one that's up, which is brought about by your nickels, your coals, your golds, your copper. So commodity is the only one that's up. Everything else is on the red. Let's take a look at your index movers. So Jollibee is still trying to hang on at 240, although there are resistances as well. Wilcon trying to hang on. Luciatan Group 9.5, GT Cap suffers a bit, 585. Aboitiz Power, some corrective movement here at about 35. Pure Gold is just steady at 36. AGI at 13. San Miguel at 107. Robinson's Land 19. BPI 898. JG Summit 61. MPI 383. Emperador 19. Mega World 3.2. Globe 2568. You're still seeing the market go red. And it seems as if the market is more on a selling spree. The market is on a selling spree, and let's take a look at the results, if ever. So let's take a look. Some earnings results. Material information amendment by law. What are the top read most viewed disclosures? So SPNEC quarterly reports and corporate disclosures. Let's understand why it went up 15% up in the first place. Was it just a retest of a double top? Let's take a look. So it says here that they approved the acquisition of a lot of assets: Solar Calatagan, Tarlac, Tanawan, Terra Solar. So a lot of Solar Philippines, Batangas, Central Luzon. So let's just go through this. SPNEC would acquire the Solar Philippine assets through an asset for share swap. The parent will subscribe to 24 billion shares of SPNEC at 2.5 per share. This share swap is supported by a third-party valuation and fairness opinion by FTI Consulting Philippines, an independent valuation and fairness opinion provider. The share swap would enable the increase in authorized capital stock from 10 billion to 50 billion common shares, approved by the Board of Directors for approval on the stockholders' meeting set on March 7. This has yet to be executed. This share swap would expand SPNEC's portfolio from just one solar project in Nueva Ecija to a portfolio including operational projects as well as developments in various provinces of the Philippines to support its goal of developing 10 gigawatts of solar projects. So this share swap involves $2.50 per share. I don't know how the independent third party valued these assets, how it came about with 2.5 per share. So to be honest, I don't understand it. That's why I just don't have any of it, and I don't have any. Yeah, so yeah. So basically it's fine. I don't understand, so I don't do anything with it. SPNEC is trading what, 150% up from its IPO a year ago, right? It started listing in this one, December. So about 3 months ago. So it's up 150% over the last 3 months. And it has to do with that share swap. Don't understand it, so I am just gonna watch how it moves. No plans to do anything with it, up or down. Well, in the Philippines, you can short anyway, so not really interested at all. With solars, though, I am very bullish, and I'm going into renewable energy stocks in the US. We are seeing a lot of renewable energy plays. Obviously, Chevron and this Russian oil crisis has forced people for alternative energy assets, decarbonization. So look to buy these things like TAN. I think like the market in general is very bullish on solar. And I think that I prefer getting these ETFs, Invesco Solar ETF, which is really the worldwide asset for all these solar assets. No, so this one is a good trend. Secular, yes. So so far it actually nicely corrected here to as high as to the $60 area. And so I think like what's happening in the Philippines is just really a worldwide trend as well. So you've got in the Philippines a lot of companies going solar, and these companies are raising money. And as you see, that 2.5 share swap apparently was independent valuation. Whatever that means, what it did is to expand SPNEC from just one asset to perhaps 20 operational projects, as you can see in the disclosure. And perhaps some people can understand the valuation, and so they bought it up. Quarterly report wise, is there any earnings? Well, I would view that these companies would not earn any money yet. So you could see that income losses. Yep. So I would say that it would continue to lose money in the next few years as they continue to capitalize. I'm not sure if these businesses will ever make money. It looks like these businesses would earn money sometime in the next 5 to 7 years. So these are considered moonshots or venture capital waste. So yeah, anything that they would do is up to the market to value. Okay, what else? Material information transaction. Let's take a look at these. So it's basically Ayala Globe, generally STTGDC, enters into a $350 million venture to expand current data centers. They're eyeing a market leadership in the country. So Ayala with Globe is spending $350 million, and they will subscribe to new shares in Carman Edge. This is a 100% owned subsidiary of Globe, housing all the data center businesses, which has a potential to expand up to 100 MW capacity in the mid to long term. Globe will remain the largest shareholder with 50%, followed by STT GDC with 40%, Ayala Corp taking up the 10% balance. I think it has to do more with Globe. So Globe right now has corrected back to about 2.5 area. So after a blistering movement here to about 3.6, you can see that it went almost double from 1.8 to 3.6. And so far, it has corrected downwards to about 2.6. We'll see if there will be a retest here at 2.3. But I think that Globe here at about 2.3 might be a buying area. So we'll see. I think that the prior resistance is going to serve as your first sign of support here on Globe with a potential range trade play there. Okay, what else is happening in the Philippines? Let's see, index wise. Um, let's take a look at analytics. So, from a percentage perspective, all shares. Let's take a look at your 3 months, so year to date. So, year to date, your largest gainers, your NIKL Asia, 60%, your MARC. So, basically, all of your mining companies. ATN, I think, has to do with some solar. So in the Philippines, what has been moving up are mostly miners, solars. Amongst the index, let's take a look at index, PSCI, on a 3 month change. In the PSCI, it's been the power units like Aboitiz Equity Ventures, AGI probably a catch up, Aboitiz Power, so AP and AEV running the movement with 20% up. The rest of the market has just been within that 5 to 10% range. The largest drop amongst the index names has been ASEN. ASEN has been falling 25% already. Globe has fallen 18%. Converge has been down 16%. So these are actually growth arenas of the market. Converge is a broadband. Glow, which is also expanding their broadband and data centers. Your Monde is down, your Pure Gold is down, Wilcon is also down 8%, URC, Luciatan Group, SMC, yeah. I'm not really looking to buy any stock yet as of the moment. So far, I think though that I am quite bullish on JG Summit, SEB, ACK, Bloom. So I'm seeing that the market is more of a reopening play, aside from that commodity boom, which I think is also nearing the end. Um, Perhaps we're seeing the market still continue the momentum for all these gold plays, Felix, Apex. So miners are still getting some love. But I would say that we'll see if the this inflationary arena of oil prices are gonna trigger a movement towards green energy. So we'll see if I don't know when ASEAN will get a bid, but we'll see if ASEAN gets a bid somewhere at 7. Let's see if these growth names will get bought at 7 or will it go down to about 6. As well as we will take a look at whether the markets in general will find a footing as the index is near resistance. You're seeing that the index is near resistance. Therefore, outside the index, it would be companies that are going to benefit from reopening that in my view will get bought. So my answer would be the likes of casinos like Bloomberry, travel like Seb. So we'll see if they will get some love. And in the index, we could also see how big the drops on, I know, a large drop. So you saw like the pure golds fall, the Wilcon fall, right? Wilcon fell 10%, Converge fell. So we'll see when these high growth names in the index would find a footing. So I'm not sure if this fell in light of the high growth valuations. That's possibly the reason. As I note that most of their earnings actually like Converge. I remember reading good numbers. So it seems as if this dropped from 45 to about 22 area, 21. We'll see whether there will be some entries and buyers there. So some growth names in the index like Converge and ASEN, we still need to find where the bottom of them will be as we can see them yet. And for reopening, we are also just trying to look. The market seems to be in just in a mining related area in terms of the movements of the volume, the top traded, yeah, mostly mining. But the miners are actually more on the resistance areas. So I wouldn't be too bullish on any of these miners. It's good if you have it, but if you don't have it, do not chase anymore. Let's see. There's a question. Fa po, ma'am. Fa is PHA. It's been a while. I haven't been reading much about these things. Fa is going up from 45 cents to 73 cents. Let me take a look. What's the news for the movement? Let's take a look at that. PHA, the most recent company disclosures are, so Feb 24, about a few weeks ago, what did they say? Special board meeting. They have approved convertible loans of 150 million pesos. New data protection officer, interest rate of 8% per annum. This loan is paid quarterly to convert all the outstanding loans from accrued interest to shares of FA coming from FA's unsubscribed conversion strike price of 95 cents per share. Um, what exactly is happening to them? Substantial acquisition, November 24. Let's read this. Ito yung may squid pay, no? Tama ba? Is that the name? Wait ah. Yeah, ito. FA is acquiring 33% of Squid Pay Technology, led by Mr. Marvin De La Cruz for the equity infusion of a total of 2.8 billion shares. The subscription shares, the parties consisted of this at a price of 33 cents per share for a total consideration of 87 million in cash. Sorry, what I don't quite understand. So they subscribed at 33 cents. And then, what's this? They are subscribing again at 95 cents. Ito? Converting at 95 cents per share or 3x. So they subscribe and then their loans or their convertible loan is 95 cents. So parang they're buying and selling. Okay. I don't understand. What else? Let me read through it. Hmm. Says here that the terms and conditions were approved by the FA directors. 925 million peso subscription. The board was led by Chairman Augusto M. Cosio. Approved the acquisition of 33% of Squid Pay for 561 million pesos, equivalent to 264 million shares, owned by the group of Marvin de la Cruz, giving them an SPT 1.7 billion peso pre-money equity value. The price is within the range of KPMG, valuing the company up to 3 billion pesos, investing in the fintech space. So, $60 million yung pag-value sa kanya. How much sales ba tong Squid Pay? The funding will come from the 625 million peso subscription. I think it is too speculative, but let's take a look at the nature of material relations. So Mr. Marvin de la Cruz owns 62% of the outstanding capital. It is a homegrown fintech company granted by the BSP as a money issued license. I think it is too speculative, if I'll be honest. Can't quite say. It rallied from 50 cents to 95 cents because perhaps of that news since November last year. But just looking at the range prices here, so the company acquired it at 33 cents, as they said. So I guess if you're looking for a support, you've got a support at 33 cents. And then you've got a lot of resistances here at about 95 to 1 peso. So I think like it's just a huge trading range, like 300% range. I'm not sure what's going to happen here at 70 cents. It could just consolidate here. I don't know. It's likely to consolidate perhaps here, like ganyan. I don't know. I am like unaware what it will do, and I guess I want to do nothing with it. So I don't know anything about it. Um, so yeah, I think like just a short note in the Philippines. Basically, you've got commodities running up sky high with all the Russian crisis. And for those who are following me on Twitter, this is my Twitter account at Faces Trader. We're more active in the Philippines and sorry, we're more active globally. And we can clearly see that this movement right now of the Ukraine is very positive to cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin. So we are seeing that all of the Russians have seen their country's currency worthless, like tissue paper, and have a strong reason to convert all their remaining money towards BTC. So that's BTC USD. You can consider BTC ruble just to see how much Bitcoin versus Russian ruble has been kaboom, no? So basically, Russian ruble is basically an asset class that is zero. And you can clearly see the biggest moonshot is basically for all the Russians to convert all of their money to Bitcoin and not to Russian ruble, which has been nothing to them. So what's that? It's a 14x. It's a 15x for any person in Russia who has converted his money towards Bitcoin. So I think like this entire war, I've shared my thoughts on the market. My thoughts in the market is that you have some people focusing on their highest conviction. So in a way, number one, Bitcoin will be the main universal currency, at least for Ukraine and Russia. Number two, defense industries in a physical war zone. So you've got all that sustained military spending. It's probably going to increase throughout Europe and US. That means it's going to be positive for Lockheed Martin, LMT, Northrop Grumman. Cybersecurity is also not going to be an afterthought. So any company will be investing susceptible to massive theft, cyber crimes. So a lot of people are going to join a lot of cybersecurity companies to basically save their company from hacking, especially the financials. And number one, and number four, which the Philippines is involved, persistently higher commodities. So the higher commodity prices are nickel prices, coal, oil. It has large consequences to inflation, which only hastens the need, of course, for superb decarbonization trends. And if you think about the decarbonization trends in the Philippines, perhaps that's the reason why Aboitiz Power is a leadership move. Aboitiz Power is, of course, a renewable energy provider in the Philippines. Aboitiz Equity Ventures owns a ton of Aboitiz Power. First Gen is also one of the power providers. Semirara is a power provider and of course benefiting from coal. So far I think the only power companies in the Philippines are them. Let's take a look at energy names. Energy names as a whole, in my view, is top and center. And of course, renewable energies in the Philippines are very little to discuss. But you have like the likes of yun nga, most people I think are parking in ASEN, AC Energy. So you look to see where the drops would be. But I'd assume there will be growth buyers onto ASEN on dips. Haven't bought. Haven't bought back. We'll see if it gives an entry somewhere at 6. Okay, so that's it for you. And see you again next week for another Philippine market update. That would be it for now. Thank you. Bye bye.